Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov. Welcome to a new week and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, with me, Rivlin Marks. And before we get into our top story, we just want to take a moment from all of us here at Lay of the Land to share our thoughts, our prayers, our love and our condolences with everybody affected by the terrible, devastating tragedy that took place in Surfside, Miami last week. We have many friends, many readers and many viewers from the community, and it was my pleasure and privilege several years ago to visit Miami, to meet with so many members of such a vibrant, cohesive, joyful community who are so supportive of each other and of the state of Israel. And our thoughts, our prayers, our love from Israel is with all of you over there. And may we offer words of comfort to those who have been affected. We know right now that 9 people have been confirmed as having lost their lives and 150 still yet unaccounted for, and 37 people have been rescued. What is still unknown is what caused this devastation, and I'm sure that this will be investigated in the months and weeks to come. As soon as this disaster happened, Israel dispatched United Hatzolah Psychotrauma Unit to Miami, and this was sponsored by El Al. However, yesterday, after several days, a unit of Homefront Command Search and Rescue was dispatched. Israel initially offered the help, and of course the United States is not short of resources, and yesterday accepted the invitation. Our team has landed and are on site working 24/7 to help with rescue and recovery efforts. They are accompanied by Minister of Diaspora Affairs Nachman Shai. Nachman Shai met with the governor of Florida yesterday. He has also been interviewed in the mainstream media. Right now, rescue efforts continue in Surfside in Miami, and our thoughts and our prayers continue to be with the community there. In other news, it looks like there is a major diplomatic spat brewing between Poland and Israel. So let's take a look at the background. Over the last, I'd say, year or so, Poland has been trying to introduce legislation absolving the Polish of any kind of participation, of any kind of responsibility during the Holocaust, during the Shoah. Now, at the end of last week, a draft law was presented in Polish Parliament and was debated there, where it would absolve Poland of any financial restitution or property restitution to the heirs of victims of the Holocaust or survivors, or to communal organizations. Now, our Foreign Minister Yair Lapid called this immoral and a disgrace, and what has ensued has been a war of words. Yesterday, Israel called in the Polish ambassador to our country for a dressing down, and the Polish Foreign Ministry called in our Shasheda Affairs for a dressing down there. It has been reported by Kan broadcaster in Israel that amongst the things that were said to our Shasheda Affairs there was that Israel is interfering in the domestic laws of another country. Now, the Polish said that they will not be paying 1 zloty towards the Jewish community or to Israel, and made the inference that Israel wanted the money. This resulted in a response from our Foreign Minister Yair Lapid, who said that this is not about the money, this is about Jewish honor and Jewish pride and what was lost during the Shoah, and said that comments like that are inherently anti-Semitic. So at the moment, there is a to and fro of words. It does look like there is a substantial amount of tension brewing between the two countries. And our last story of the day takes us back to the United States. This time we're on a farewell tour of President Rivlin as he visits the United States. He will meet with US President Biden as well as Speaker Nancy Pelosi. He will also have meetings at the UN and meetings with Jewish leaders. Yesterday he met with some members of the Jewish community and of course extended his condolences for the loss in Surfside, Miami. The community there is mostly Jewish that was affected by this horrendous tragedy. The president also went on to say that we do have our search and rescue on the scene there, and how proud he is of Israel's offer of assistance. Also meeting yesterday was US Secretary of State Antony Blinken with our Foreign Minister Yair Lapid in Rome. They discussed, amongst other things, Iran and also the commitment from Israel with the new government to work more closely with the Democratic Party, a relationship that many have seen neglected over the last couple of years. Also meeting with Foreign Minister Lapid was the Foreign Minister of Bahrain. This is really a momentous occasion and occurred just before our Foreign Minister departs for the United Arab Emirates later this week. And our final story is our ambassador doing double time, both as ambassador to the United Nations and to the United States. Gilad Erdan announced that he will be resigning as our ambassador to the US, but will keep on as ambassador to the United Nations. We are quite sure he has his hands full there. So those are the top stories making headlines. Don't forget to check us out online at www.layoftheland.online. We have all our original content over there. If you fancy yourself a writer for Lay of the Land, make sure to contact us via our website or via our Facebook page. You can find us at Lottle's site. If you haven't already given us a like or a follow and joined our community, please do so, and please share our content. Every time you share this video or some of our content, you help educate people about the situation in Israel that they might not see in the mainstream media. We're on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5. That's at Lay of the Land 5. Please follow us and interact with us there. And if you are watching this on our YouTube channel at the Israel Brief, please do us a solid and click that red subscribe button. So with today's edition of the Israel Brief, I'm Rivlin Marks. My final thoughts are with all my friends, with all my wonderful Wheatso sisters, the community in Surfside, Miami. And you're in my heart, you're in my thoughts, you're in my prayers. And we'll speak again tomorrow.